You're about to watch a clip from the Videomaker Podcast. If you want to see the whole episode, click the link in the description. But if you think back to those early days of making videos, for you, what was like the main draw of media production, and is the same thing motivate you today that it did back then?
I think there was like sort of the ideological reason for getting excited about being a filmmaker as like a teenager in the 90s. And then there was like the artistic reason. And, I think at the time I had a tough time in high school, and, my parents splitting up, and it was, I had sort of a conflicted childhood, and I was one of 4 kids, so I never felt heard. And the first time I ever played with like video editing software and I kind of made something, it was the first time I really felt like I could express myself. So I think like that's where this idea of wanting to tell stories came from, and wanting to sort of be able to share ideas and perspectives. Like that's where that motivation came from. And on like the artistic side, it was just around that time that I started learning about like Spike Jonze and Michel Gondry, and seeing some of their early films and seeing their TV commercials. I used to like download their TV commercials and their music videos, and just the kind of inventiveness that they brought to storytelling that kind of made it feel tangible. Like not only do I want to do that, but I think I can do that. And those were the early days for me. Like that's what I remember really being the ideas that I got most excited about.
And is it the same thing today?
No, not at all. It's a little bit like, like at that time it was looking out into like a pasture that was completely green and I had no understanding of. Like the first video I ever made was a terrible video about a birthday, and the video was like 15 minutes long, and I just used all the music from Pulp Fiction. It was like a disaster of a video, but I made it. And that felt really good. And that was really satisfying because I'd never made anything before. And now, I find myself being more critical of myself. I find myself wanting to push harder and further and do things that I haven't done before. And that's not as sort of as freeing as, being open to kind of discover, your process.